Hey guys, it's your boy Angus here, back in another video. Obviously, this is part two of my plans for today. Really, I know technically it's 6:15 now already, so I suppose it's whatever I can do ASAP. But these are just some of my thoughts, I suppose, and plans for the future and things like that. But anyway, so a good result for today for Celtic. We won. I'll say we as a fan won one. Sorry, I think what was the score? 3-2 against Livingston. So that was a good result. I'm happy about that. Hopefully, Rangers will lose tomorrow. So. Whoever they're playing against will do us a favour. That'll be a really good weekend, which started off a bit bad because when I woke up I was so knackered and all that. I sometimes struggle in the morning because I was asleep too late, which is obviously my own fault. But anyway, sorry if I'm speaking too fast and waffling, but yeah, so that was a good result for anyone who knows about football. Obviously, and knows anything about. If you think about any passion you have in life, that's how I feel for football and all that sort of stuff. So even when I was younger, I've only been a Celtic fan for like 6 or 7 years, but I've been a fan of Italian football for like 20-something years, 22 years or something like that. So, or 23 years even maybe. So yeah, so I didn't get around to yesterday or last night to talk about my dreams for football generally, or some of my ideas or thoughts of football. So I hope I get to do that next Friday, or maybe like today even, like or whatever, but A.S.A.P. anyway. But I know it's like, because I stick to alliterations of like Football Friday. But I also didn't cover in part one about my goals or dreams for creating or imaginations or thinking about if they could be soccer academies, if you like, in America for indigenous people from the Americas, which I've been talking about supporting. So like, I think it'd be quite interesting, and I may have mentioned it before, but it'd be great, I think, if like Serie A clubs, as a fan of Italian football, for those who know, like Serie A, for those who don't know, Serie A is the Italian football league. But yeah, for those teams from Serie A or Italian football generally, like to capitalise on football academies, and maybe it's worthwhile. It would be a worthwhile investment if a few of those players who are trained up from a young age got to become soccer players, if you like, in the future. But also, hopefully, improving their diets and that will be beneficial for them. Obviously, they could be involved in a career that would empower them as well. So hopefully it'll be mutually beneficial. But also, like, as a Celtic fan, I would love for Celtic to also benefit. And but I think maybe like the MLS could be involved, or the leagues as well, the Premier League or the English Premier League or whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to try and get on with my usual list that I talk about. So yeah, number 11. I hope to talk about some of my dreams about soccer, if you like, or my top priorities for football or soccer, or whatever you call it, and like also supporting more indigenous people from the Americas to get into sport generally, like whether that's tennis or basketball, badminton or cricket or whatever other sports, baseball, or maybe even like some of the American sports teams could get indigenous people from their countries involved, from their country, as well as I say, the rest of the Americas, and maybe like sports organizations in countries like Brazil and Argentina and Peru and all the rest of those countries in the Americas could support their indigenous people to get into sport as well. Yeah, so to get more indigenous people from the Americas into sport. Number 12, yeah, I hope to, as I've often said, like, empower indigenous people. I was going to do like swimming today, but I didn't quite get around to it. But I'm hoping to take a bit of a break, and then from October, hopefully, do like 6 days of exercise a week, like like what I call swimming and gymming. Like, see if I can push myself to do both swimming and gymming. Either by October, or if I don't have the energy or ability to do it in October, maybe like in November, I could start to do like training like at least 6 days a week, and maybe like on Wednesday focus more on my writing, stuff like that. But it is quite difficult. It does take a lot of like, once I've done exercise, normally like when I come back from the gym or come back from swim, if you like, from swimming, I feel really energetic. But then after a while, I seem to get more tired, and then like, next day I seem to be much more tired. So I'm not sure if that's just psychological or whatever, or I get tired in the morning anyway. So maybe I just think it's because I was in the gym, but it might well just be that I would be tired anyway. But it does seem to take a lot of your time. But hopefully I can like organize my time a bit better and get around to doing that. Maybe I could do that from like next year, like 2021, like as a goal, like train like 6 days a week, every day except for Wednesdays, or at least 5 days a week. or at least 4. I'm sort of moving the goalposts a bit. But anyway, number 13, I'd love for Indigenous people from the Americas to talk about their own scary stories and to react to scary videos and things like that, and hopefully capitalize from them, like capitalize from those stories, like instead of other people telling their story and making money from like books or films or things like that, Indigenous people from the Americas could do so, and like tackle some of their the issues that they're facing. Number 14, on that solution, I'd love to empower, as I said before, like Indigenous people in STEM, and hopefully they could solve problems through science and inventions, inventing things and stuff like that. And again, I'd love to hear from Indigenous people from the Americas and encourage and support more of them to start their own YouTube channels and things like that, and hopefully help them to grow. And again, help them with their own startups. But I'll say if more Indigenous people can be taught about science and stuff like that, maybe again they could be like charities or schemes which maybe the American government or NGOs could do, or again across the Americas to help governments across the Americas, not just America itself, to help Indigenous people to get into science and other areas of STEM, as I said before. Number 15, again, I'd love to hear from Indigenous people and from the Americas and what their aspirations are and how to help them to reach their aspirations, whether that's to get into science or medicine or inventing things or creating their own startups or whatever other things they want to get involved in, and support them to reach their goals, like from a young age, and be encouraged and inspired and that sort of thing. So I've watched a few YouTube videos where people from Indigenous American communities have talked about, I think this was specifically in America, but I think it'd be great if that again could be expanded to all of the Americas. But they've talked about what they would like to be when they grow up, and like hopefully they can be empowered to see that they can achieve those goals as well, by working together as well, and hopefully charities and NGOs helping them as well. Number 16, hopefully by the end of this month, I would have empowered Indigenous people from the Americas as much as I possibly can, and give it all I've got. And then hopefully I'll talk about a little bit about on the last day of the month, which I think is the 30th, but I can't quite remember what day it's on. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday or something. Anyway, I hope to talk about what I've learned, if anything, and about Indigenous people and that sort of thing, and have like a review of how I think the month went, things like that. I also, as ever, I'd love to hear what other people think about what are the best ways to empower Indigenous people. Number 17, if I can get around to it, I'd love to talk about who I think should be Celtic fans and why, and that sort of thing. Number 18, again, I'd love to look into what positive things we can learn from the Indigenous people of the Americas, like how they looked after the environment and things like that, and what influence they could have, and like if there was an Indigenous, or if there were Indigenous environmental ministers and people like that, how much they could talk about animal rights and how to look after nature and things like that. Number 19, again, sorry for repeating myself, but I hope to support Indigenous people in STEM. I'm kind of clutching at straws of what ideas. I know I do these 30-point lists, so to help me to organise myself, but sometimes I struggle to come up with those amount of ideas. But because I'm a creature of habit, so to speak, I like to do those 30-point lists. But yeah, it's a good result today, as I said before, like for Celtic, so I'm happy about that, at least a little bit. I'm just hoping, again, whoever plays against Rangers can do us a favour. The only thing is we conceded, I say we as a fan, conceded 2 goals, so I'm a little bit worried about that. We've conceded a few goals. We haven't really kept many clean. Again, we haven't kept many clean sheets. I didn't manage to watch the game, but I think I was too nervous to watch the game. But I sort of saw the result afterwards, and I was. It'll probably take a while to sink in that we actually won, because I had a bit of a nervous thought that we wouldn't win. But yeah, it'd be a really good weekend if whoever plays against Rangers does a favour, and so Celtic we to become top of the league of the weekend, and hopefully go for 10 or more in a row. So as I say, I hope to support Indigenous people, but Indigenous people from the Americas, but I also hope to support Serie A, Italian football, and Celtic as well. So I hope to throw in a bit of those videos as well. And number 20, and also like till the end of the month, hopefully I can focus on supporting Indigenous people from the Americas. And in October, I hope to focus on supporting dyslexic people and the global Black diaspora, especially from Britain and Africa, because it's Black History Month in October in the UK, here in the UK, but also I hope to support people from Africa as usual. And I think Black History Month here in the UK was actually chosen as October because that was a time when a lot of African countries signed peace treaties as well. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm sure I heard that somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to stop waffling, and please let me know what you think as ever. And I appreciate any likes, sharing this video, and that sort of thing. And any comments as well, and suggestions, feedback, ideas, whatever you want to share. And I'm out. Peace and love.